Hey everyone on the internet, this is Chris McKee coming at you from Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas, alamomusic.com on the web. I am coming at you from our acoustic showcase room that's located at our northwest side store in San Antonio, Texas at 1530 Babcock Road near the Medical Center. We have probably one of the best selection of Taylor guitars, custom Taylors, Martin guitars, vintage Martin and vintage Gibson guitars, Cordobas and whatnot here in this room, even some custom shop Fender acoustics that are pretty cool. So if you want to take a gander and play some really fantastic guitars, come by and see us if you're in the San Antonio area because you're not here right now. Come visit us. We'd love to see you, meet you in person, chat about guitars because that's what we love. What I have for you is a new model from Taylor Guitars that is pretty cool. So some of you are probably familiar with the Grand Orchestra model. If you're not, we've shot some videos on the Grand Orchestra in the past on the 800 series and 600 series and so forth. This is a new 418E. So it's a Grand Orchestra model in the 400 series. This is the first time Taylor has offered this body shape in this series. So a little bit about the Grand Orchestra. This is the brainchild of Andy Powers over at Taylor Guitars. And what he wanted to do was basically create a large, big-bodied guitar that was more responsive. Taylor had inherited their jumbo shape from Gibson and Guild back in the day. The dreadnought shape they'd inherited from all the other manufacturers as well after Martin invented it way back in the day. So what they decided to do after creating the Grand Auditorium around the 30th anniversary, they kind of redid all the lines on their guitars to bring it in line with the curves of the Grand Auditorium. With that in mind, they went back to the drawing board to redraw the jumbo guitar, if you will, and create the Grand Orchestra. It's not quite as wide as their prior jumbo guitar, but it's deeper than their jumbo guitar, and it's braced differently. So the idea behind this guitar is to have a big-bodied instrument that was responsive. If you've watched any of my grand concert videos, you've probably heard me say that with this equal kind of energy put into the guitar, it's actually a louder guitar. So with a light touch, a grand concert's actually very loud and powerful. And then it caps out at a certain point. A big-bodied guitar, because it has a very big soundboard, requires a lot of energy put into it in order to get that sound out of it, because you're trying to get a big top to move. The idea behind this guitar was to create a powerful, bold, robust guitar that could be that loud instrument that you could, kind of hammer on, go on with your flat pick and just go to town, but that the fingerstylist was equally comfortable on. If you wanted to do some really just full and rich sounding fingerstyle guitar, particularly those guys out there that are into tapping, that maybe follow another McKee guy named Andy. If you want to get some of that cool tapping and percussive technique, a big body guitar like the Grand Orchestra is the way to go about it. It has a wonderful, luscious bass response, but with all Taylors, it's articulate, and it sounds great from the nut all the way up the neck. A lot of instruments kind of change character, and this one doesn't. It sounds great all the way up. So bring it into the 400 series, brings this body shape in at a new price point, right around the $2,000 mark at the time of this video. Prices may vary, mileage may vary, void or prohibited, all that stuff. So check it out on Taylor's website. Go to our website. We've got a few of these in stock, and they're really great. Spruce top. It's Ovancall back and sides, okay, which is a great tone wood in its own right. There's a lot of Ovancall fans out there. It's got the bracing specifically for this body, white binding, tusk nut, saddle, 1 3/4 inch nut, ebony bridge, ebony fretboard, all the things that you come to expect from Taylor, Chrome Tuners, ES2 system, and of course the great hard shell case that they've made. So enough of my yammering about. We're going to play this thing. I'd like you to stick around to the end of the video. Tell us what you think in the comments about this great guitar, and subscribe to our videos in order to get more reviews.